Welcome to the Best Passive Income Model Podcast with Mark Podolsky, aka The Land Geek. Listen in as Mark has unscripted, free-flowing conversations with real estate and business experts. Discover why land investing is the best passive income model as Mark challenges each guest to think of a better passive income business. Learn about strategies, skills, and helpful tips that will help you grow your passive income through land investing today.
Hey, it's Mark Podolsky, the Land Geek, with your favorite niche real estate website, www.thelandgeek.com. And today's guest, I'm excited to report, is not just a normal guest. He is going to be the co-host of the new podcast launching next week, The Art of Passive Income. Scott Todd from Scott Todd.
How's it going?
And landmodo.com. Scott, I have not had my third cup of coffee, and I feel great.
Oh man, 3? I've already had more than that in Diet Cokes and teas today.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, it's. I think I just had I don't know. I don't even want to count. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Today's been easy on the Diet Coke though. I really have not left the Landmodo headquarters that much today at all. And so it's been kind of a fun day today.
Yeah. So we got to get everybody jazzed up for our newest podcast, The Art of Passive Income. Why should anyone even listen to this podcast?
What I was saying is that we both have 3 words that we love. 1 is free, 2 is automation, and 3rd is passive income. Maybe that's 4 words. Passive. And what we're going to do in this podcast is we're really going to look at other passive income models and come back and see, are we really in the right place? Because look, if there's something else that we can do, then we should go do it. But I haven't found it. You haven't found it. And I think that it'll be interesting to look down at what other people's business models are, kind of learn from them, and maybe even take components of what they do and figure out, can we do something like that with land?
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, is about. And we're going to take that theory of, look, we don't want to be a red ocean, which is very competitive, right? Everybody, me, and competing for the same buyer pool. Blue ocean, you create your own market segment. So here's an example of a blue ocean is Cirque du Soleil, right? They took the theater and they took the circus and they combined it and lowered their overhead. They got rid of the animals, which cost a ton of money to maintain and train. And then they had 2 new market segments they combined, with theater goers and people that love the circus. And now they've got this whole new market segment all to themselves. This is the whole idea of the Blue Ocean Strategy. So what Scott and I want to do is we want to take a look at other experts in other fields and see about their passive income strategies and what can we take and what can we eliminate and how can we extract as much value as possible and apply it to our own businesses and create our own blue oceans in our own land niches. Because, Scott might be going after a very different market segment than I am. He may be in a different area of the country, but his whole story may be very different. And attracting a different type of land investor. So I'm really excited to do this. We have recorded 10 episodes already?
I think it's up to 10, yeah.
Is it 10 or 11? And one of the episodes is with Empire Flippers. And these guys flip websites, right? Or is that not really what they do? They're more a platform.
No, they're a platform that allows people to go on there and buy and sell websites. And I think that what's cool about that strategy is, whether you want to do that with for a passive model or for a business model, you could do that. But there's some key takeaways I think that you and I both walked away from that call with some good ideas.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe once you get to a point with your land investing where we are, where you're 90% automated, you've got the bandwidth to maybe diversify into another income stream, and which I think is great. Now, look, the bottom line is you got to be realistic. You're not going to make 300 to 1,000% in any other business. I don't think. You know?
Yeah. I haven't found it yet.
I haven't found it. I mean, but what I want to delve into in some of the areas that I want to look closely at are FBA, right? That whole model. I want to look at some other models as far as, self-publishing. We're going to talk to the guys at Flippa, right? So there's a lot of different, just these little secret unknown niches that people don't even really think about. We want to get them on the podcast and pick their brain. So it's going to be kind of like the best passive income model meets Mixergy, right? Like Scott and I are like, we don't believe you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Although I don't know if we're going to be that much in your face. Like, how much money did you make? Show me your tax returns. It's not my personality, but maybe we'll get there.
Maybe we need Andrew Warner to show us how to do that.
Well, I want to get Andrew Warner on the podcast for sure.
Yeah.
Because here's a guy who talks to everybody and be like, Andrew, what is the best, model that you've seen out of all these entrepreneurs? I'm pretty sure he's going to say a SaaS model, as opposed to something like, a manufacturing business, right?
Yeah. And like from when you talk about real estate with him, that's just not what he knows, that's just foreign to him. And that's what I think is cool. And that's what, we can explore in this podcast too is, you've been in real estate for many years, and, I've been doing this for like 20 months, even though I was doing real estate investing on the side well before that. But, it's interesting because you put yourself into like an industry or into a certain like group. And then, there are other worlds out there. There's the SaaS model for subscription businesses. And, there's lots of ways that you can turn any business into a subscription model.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this as far as that book, The Automatic Customer, which, when I read that book, I didn't love it. But now that I think about it, I think it's almost like a must read for everybody. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's one that you actually have to go back to and read it again.
I'm going to have to read it again. You know what book I'm really loving right now is Triggers. And he talks a lot about your environment, and he makes the argument that one of the hardest things that we do as human beings is actually change, right? And it's just very, very difficult. And if you've just started, let's say, investing in raw land, it's really difficult, I think, to delay gratification, right? There's that window of time after you send out your offers where you wait. And I think it's an excruciating period of time, right? When you just don't know, because we're in this instant gratification mode. And what he says is, forget about the result. When you first start something, you want to make any type of change, focus only on the effort, only manage the effort, and ask yourself these active questions. Did I do my best today to send out offers? Did I do my best today to market my raw land? Did I do my best today to learn something new? And then rate yourself, and having that type of accountability for yourself. And then he even makes the argument, go even further and have a coach, is what helps with these very difficult changes, right? What are your thoughts on that, Scott Todd?
I think that I'm not going to tell him he's wrong. I do think
you can. I mean, it's just
no.
I don't think he's got it backed up by a lot of science.
Yeah, but I will tell you, I know, like, for me, when I started sending out offers, and I joke about, that I was sitting there waiting for them. It's painful to sit there and wait for something. It's painful to start something new. And, you feel like you should be doing something more, like, okay, I sent out 20 offers today. Should I be doing something more? What more can I do?
Right.
And, there is lots you can do. I mean, if you want to really stack the deck in your favor while you don't have all the deal flow coming back, well, mail more offers, right? But whenever you start down a new avenue, like anything, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel unnatural to you. And you just have to keep going down that path. And like you said, one of the questions, did I do my best today? And if you did, fantastic. That's all that matters.
Right, exactly. So, but is there something about that kind of rubbed you the wrong way? I get that sense.
No. I think that I think that he's right in that aspect.
Okay. Yeah, but I like that. I like that book. It's not on the same plane of, say, the 12-week year or the one thing, but it's a really interesting book.
I haven't read it, but I'm gonna put it on the list.
Okay, put it on the list.
You know what book I'm reading right now? This is an old book. It's old. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think you and I were talking about this a little bit today, and I actually have a video coming out on this, but the book is called God Wants You to Be Rich.
God Wants You to Be Rich. What is that about?
It's by Paul Zane Pilzer. And
Okay.
he's an academic. And basically it's really showing you or talking to you about kind of abundance mentality. And it's really helping you to see the world from an abundant standpoint, because he starts to lay out in the book like how everything is in abundance. Everything. You just have to be in tune with it. And he starts giving examples of all this stuff that's in abundance, and the whole book is basically an argument about how you should really be thinking about seeing the world from this abundant standpoint and knowing like where this came from, there's more, instead of like scarcity, like I've got to protect this. And I'm really, really loving this book right now.
Oh, I got to get this book. I'm looking at it right now on Amazon. So he wrote this in 97, I believe.
Yeah, it's an old one. It's an
old one in the paper.
Yeah.
So
you can buy it for a penny, Mark. You can buy it for a penny.
Oh, now you're talking my language.
Plus shipping and handling.
Right. So the table of contents: God Wants You to Be Rich, The Covenant, The Search for Camelot, Economic Alchemy, What's Happening to Our Jobs. Now, how funny is that? In 97, he's writing about what's happening to our jobs.
Yeah.
Have you read that chapter yet?
Yeah.
So what do you say in 97 that's happening to our jobs?
There's parallels. Look, there are parallels to this whole book, because honestly, the world hasn't really changed. Mark, when a book like The Richest Man in Babylon can still have relevance, I don't even know when that book was written. That the world just remains the same. And so basically he's making it's funny. It's basically the same stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody today that's in the automotive industry, and I asked them. I said, "What are you guys going to do when there's the car is self-driving?" And they said, "We're going to have to get new jobs because there's huge swaths that are going to go away. Starting with insurance, right? That's going away. The collision business is going to go away. If they're all electric, there's only 3 components, right? So a lot of car maintenance is going to go away. All those auto mechanics, right? They've got to learn. There's not going to be as much to maintain because you don't have an engine,
right?
There's only going to be, this. It's just crazy. So, technology and automation and robotics. It's tough. It's if you've got a job right now, I think your real job is to find a way to get out of a job.
Yeah.
And create value in another way.
Yeah. And I think that, companies, and like this has been this way for a while, but companies have changed the way that they, treat employees. There's some good companies out there that really take care of their employees. And there's a lot of companies out there that you look at that are, they're labor intensive, but companies will find a way to automate all of that work. Just look at what's going on with the minimum wage jobs like McDonald's and Wendy's. They wanted $15 an hour, and what did Wendy's do? They rolled out kiosks. McDonald's is doing the same thing, rolled out kiosks.
Your favorite place is doing the same thing, Panera.
Yep.
And they're even bribing me to use a kiosk by giving me a free cookie.
Right.
I thought of you the other day.
Yeah. Oh, so you went. I got you to go there.
I of course, free cookie. Are you kidding?
Now, see what's funny, Mark, is the Panera Bread where we live. They have the kiosk. The Panera Bread where we're moving to, they do not have the kiosk. And so my wife and I were talking the other day, like, I hate going to order at the cashier. I just want to punch in my order and be done with it. I don't want to have to talk to somebody about my dang order. Because in a way they kind of cut, like it seems like they always cut you off. Like, oh, do you want chips with that? I'll get to that.
Right. Yeah, I don't want your upcharge.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. I'll tell you exactly what I want. Just give me a second.
Right.
Now the CIO at Wendy's, it's funny because he was the CIO where I used to work, and he made the transition over to Wendy's. And it's funny because one of the things that we did where I used to work is we rolled out kiosk. We rolled out kiosk, and it was funny to see, or interesting to see, how much fighting there was, like, from the employees. The employees did not want the kiosk because they saw it as work going away.
Yeah.
And then, but essentially, it's like, look, these things are not going away. And so then you kind of move on from it and you just go on. But then when he made the transition over to this other company, and you look, and here he is, he's, looking to cut, looking at, okay, well, how do we improve this business? They go to kiosk, and it's like that. What business doesn't have kiosk?
Right. Yeah.
So you're right. The job market's changing, the world's changing, and I think that the one thing that anybody should be doing right now, if they're not doing anything, they should be trying to figure out what is my plan B. Okay, and it can't be like, well, I'm going to have a job for life, because, well, unless you're a Supreme Court justice, it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, it really doesn't, does it? I mean, no. And today, like, with at the rate of change, would you even want to have a job for life? Like, I have so many interests. I don't think I'd want to do the same thing again and again. There's something about, just keeping up and finding new challenges and climbing new mountains and exploring new things.
Yeah.
And that just makes life more fun and interesting. Like, I wouldn't want to do the same thing every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I don't think I would.
Well, in a way you do.
In a way, I don't know.
You buy and sell land.
In a way you do. I do, but I don't. I do it differently.
Right. But I think that even like with land, is every day is a new adventure. I'll tell you, like, I was like just perusing some land websites yesterday or 2 days ago. And, it's funny because you just start looking and you're like, oh, that area looks nice. Or, oh, that's a nice piece of land. Like, that looks like a nice area. And it becomes kind of like this deal hunt. And, it's great because even though it's land, it's almost like you're saying, it's a new adventure. It's like, I can go try this new area. And then I think that there is a certain level of excitement when you just see, like, I've started doing something a little bit different for my business. I started building like a cash pipeline. So I'm looking at deals to see like how much money I have in the pipeline.
Right.
Coming from deal flow. And, I'm looking, and I was really kind of depressed today because I'm looking at the number. I'm going, that's it. But then I found like, okay, I do have more deals that aren't in here yet. And so I start putting the deals in and start adding them up, and you start to look, and it's a substantial amount of money without necessarily a ton of capital that goes and does it. Like the money becomes, the potential is so huge, but the capital outlay is not that large. So it just makes for very interesting times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as real estate's concerned, I don't think there's any simpler niche to start building wealth right away with as little money as we have in land. Would you agree? I mean, where else could you start with nothing?
Yeah, and you really don't even need, you can actually sell pretty quickly if you just go to, eBay or something, and I mean, you can put the stuff up for sale pretty quickly, right? Like there's ways of flipping that very quickly. I know how you started, and the market has evolved and changed, but at the simplest core, it is the. I mean, where else can you buy real estate? Like, okay, I'm literally $300. I bought two pieces of property today. They were $350 each, and they were each 1 acre. Right, like 1+ acre, and it's like I cannot believe. And Mark, the taxes are like $9. I apologize. No, $54. $54 on each one.
Yeah,
$54, and you look at it and you're like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, my wife spends more money at Trader Joe's than it costs to own a piece of property to for an asset for an entire year.
Yeah,
like that's how low it is.
I mean, think about that. Like 1 acre of land, $350. Right? Like that could be like a dinner out. And I won't tell you the area on the podcast, but I can tell you that I know you bought land there.
Oh, I know. I already know the area. It's so funny because just based on the taxes and the acre, I already know it.
And you paid 3 times as much as me.
I know. And it's
that land will sell for $3,000.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't care that I pay 3 times as much as you. I mean, in the sense that it used to bother me, right? But now I know I can get it for this much. So it's a good thing. It's a new comp for me.
So if you need some land, I'll be happy to sell it to you for cash.
You could, you know what?
Flip it quick.
Flip it quick.
That's right.
You can wholesale to me. I'll be the retailer.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the pipeline. For me to spend $300 to generate $3,000, it's like the biggest no-brainer in the world, right? Like it just, to me, it's just there. And then I put it on this note that I'm going to get paid on for, let's say, the next 3 years, 2.5 years, maybe. And, man, that's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. Yeah. And if you want to learn more, by the way, about what we're talking about, the best way to learn it is go to boot camp, which is July 8th through 10th. See how I threw that commercial in, Scott? Did you like that? I think I lost Scott.
I'm here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's you got your own product placements going on.
I do. Today's podcast is sponsored by The Land Geek at thelandgeek.com. On July 8th through 10th, in 3 weeks, meet Mark and Scott in Vegas.
Where Scott will be drinking Diet Coke.
And Mark will be drinking tons and tons of caffeine. Watch him guzzle tons of caffeine and his eyes bug out. Learn more. thelandgeek.com/bootcamp. And now, back to the Best Passive Income Model podcast.
Yeah, there you go. That sounded pretty good.
It's pretty good, huh?
That microphone.
The new mic.
Yeah, the new mic.
Yeah. So, you ready for your tip of the week?
Yeah, I'm ready for my tip of the week.
No, you're right? Not. I can already tell. You're not.
No, I am.
You really are?
Yeah, I am.
Man, I want to get you off balance there, especially because you're buying property 3 times less than me in that area.
Yeah, well, you'll get me off guard. It will happen.
See how passive aggressive I can be?
Yeah.
I can turn on you, Scott, on a dime.
I don't believe you. Pull up your Skype or pull up your Stripe account. Let's see the numbers. The Andrew Warner approach.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Let me see your Stripe account. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? Here's my tip of the week. I like this from I started using it this week.
Okay.
And it is called Pipe Drive.
Oh, I've heard of Pipe Drive. This is a CRM, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you like this?
So, here's why I like it. Because I've always taken an approach that when someone's trying to when they're trying to sell their property, and this goes back to the time that I had, the limited time that I had when I was working, look, you either want to sell or you don't want to sell.
Right.
Okay. So if you didn't want to sell, then I'm over it, right? Like, I'm not attached to it. I got my number and that's it. So, if you want to sell, call me, and otherwise forget it. And now that I have more time, I can go back and I can begin to drip on the people that want to sell. Even though they tell me they don't want to sell, I can call and have a conversation with them and chit chat. I mean, a no at that time doesn't mean this necessarily. No, it's just like sales.
Right.
And, we track everything in LG Pass and everything, which is the automated software. But I just felt like I wanted more visibility into like the pipeline numbers of where they are in the process. And I really want to take kind of that sales approach to getting deals. So that's where Pipedrive comes in. Is I have it automated so that I get a deal in, and then name, phone number, everything goes in there with the deal size, and I can really look at now the volume. And I had put somebody in there earlier this week, and then the conversation, where I left the conversation with them was they were going to call me back the next day and let me know, because they were actually going to review my pricing. And in the past, I would have never thought anything about it, but I put them into Pipedrive, and then 2 days later, I get a notification, hey, you got to follow up with them. And I called, and I got her answer machine. I'm like, oh boy. So I left the message, and she called me back in about 5 minutes, and I answered the phone. She says, we will take your number. I'm like, fantastic. And so I just believe that, like, if I didn't call today, I don't know that I would have gotten the deal. And it's probably about a $6,000 profit. So to me, just making that one call, I look at it, I'm like, just made the potential for $6,000, because I know this property will sell. And I think that it just gives you some key, like, what to do next, right? It tells you when you don't have actions scheduled for another, like on a contact. There's a big yellow flag there that says you don't have any follow-up scheduled for this person. So, there's no better way to get deals done but follow up with them.
Right.
So that's why I like it.
Okay. I want you to check out what I'm using, which I think might even be simpler.
Okay.
Because you know me, I love simplicity.
Okay.
Look, I have an open mind about Pipedrive, but I did look at a lot of these. It's called YOU. Don't.
Yeah, I've seen it. I know.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking. You don't need CRM.com.
You don't need a CRM.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you?
I used it. I used
better. Okay.
I don't know. You know what I like about Pipedrive is I like the way that it was laid out. It reminds me a lot of like Trello, which I love.
Right.
And so I like that type of visualization of stuff. Like I like to see stuff like that. Whereas like you don't need a CRM. It was more of like a timeline kind of a deal, I think.
Yeah. You don't need a CRM is more like Excel.
Yeah.
So it's more like if you like Excel, you don't need a CRM. But okay, look, what's interesting about Pipedrive is less money per month.
Yeah, it's $12 per user, and I've got 2 users on it, and I don't know, like it's my first week with it. I love it so far, but we will see.
All right, awesome. Okay, so my tip of the week is going to be an app that I believe everyone can take advantage of. And what's funny about this app is because I'm such an Apple geek. It's from Google, and it's not even available on the Android yet. How about that, Android people? Your own people aren't making Android apps yet. And it's called Director. So I'm sure it will be out for the Android soon. But it's called Director. And what it does is it allows small businesses to create and walk them through making ads for YouTube or videos for YouTube that are like business ads, right? So it's called Director. You got to check it out. But it actually walks you through your shots, and it's really, really cool. It's a really easy way and to make these videos, especially if you're kind of camera shy, right? And do it. And it just kind of says, okay, you've got 6 seconds to do your intro, and it'll say, okay, you're going too long, right? Like, it's really good. Director for YouTube is my tip of the week. You see it? You like it?
Yeah, I do like it. I'll tell you, it's funny because I always try to skip over these ads on YouTube. It really, really is rare that I will watch an ad.
Right.
But one got me yesterday, and it was a 2-minute ad for a real estate investor.
2 minutes? Wow.
2 minutes.
That's a long ad.
And the guy did, I think what happened was he got me at the intro, but then where he kept me was that I just wanted to see where he was going with it,
Right.
But he does his video. He's in front of Chase Bank, and he's showing you this check. I'm getting ready to go into Chase Bank, and I'm going to deposit this check for $1.2 million that I just made on this deal.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, well, hold on. Okay, you got me. You got me in front of the bank.
Yeah, that's a great ad.
That's a great ad, right? Like, okay. What's the line for drink? You had me at hello, right? Like, okay, right. You got me. But then I want to see, like, where's he going with this thing? And obviously he's out to get some stuff sold or whatever. But he had me at the bank, with the $1.2 million check. That was good. And so if an really app like this can help you, to launch it, and I think we were talking about blue strategy. This is a blue strategy approach because, look, here's YouTube creating demand for their paid advertising. It's genius.
It's genius. Yeah, it really is. It's so smart. Google is so smart.
Might be all the PhDs that they have.
It might be.
Just saying.
They got something. I don't know. They got something going on.
I feel like you're falling in love with Google. Like I see this. Yeah. See.
I am. I have Apple fatigue. I admit it. I'm falling in love with Google. I'm falling in love with Amazon. Microsoft. Let's talk. I'm on the market.
Yeah.
I'm on the market. I'm on the prowl.
Yeah.
But that being said, even though Apple isn't as sexy to me, I find it very stable and comforting.
Yeah.
So will I divorce Apple? Probably not.
Yeah.
Even if, the Chromebook for $200 can do everything that the iMac can do for $2,000.
It can't do everything.
But what if I'm going web-based? If I'm always in the cloud, what do I need this for?
Screen capture. How are you going to do that?
I think they're doing third-party apps now.
I don't. Maybe.
I think the new that's the thing. The new Chromebook is you're allowed to put third-party apps on.
Well, I wonder if I can use like Camtasia on there.
That's what we have to find out. I don't know, but these other tech companies are talking very dirty to me. So I mean, that being said,
okay, wait a minute.
I am remaining faithful.
Okay.
To Apple. I mean, look, would I ever go off my iPhone? No, I'm not interested. And I'm not, you know what it is? I'm not interested in learning a whole bunch of new stuff either, learning curve wise. I'm just not.
Now, the company that does Camtasia, TechSmith, like I just Googled it, and you can do screen casting in Google Chrome.
Okay. So
it looks like there might be something there.
I mean, I'm telling you, this is the future. This is it. This is it. My other tip, by the way, if you don't have A-Text for the Mac, you got to get it. It's actually, I think it's $5 now on this guy's site. It is so good. It saves me so much time as a text expander, and it's way less than like the $30. What's it? The big one? I forget what it's called. There's another one that's like They're just better marketers. You know what I mean?
$5. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, heck, since we're just throwing tips out there, I got another one.
What do you got?
I know you use it. I love it. It's Better Snap tool for the Mac.
Oh yeah. We talked about Better Snap.
I love that.
I think the new Macs are baked in now with Better Snap tool.
Really?
You know what? I don't have Better Snap tool open because it was actually conflicting with A-Text, but I have used it and I have it. Let me see if it works now. I'm opening it now. Okay, we're getting really geeky. All right, let's end this podcast before.
All right, well, let's take this offline.
Before people are like, I'm never listening to this one again.
We can one up each other all day long.
Exactly.
You got another tip of the week? I've got 3.
Yeah, I get 3. Exactly. All right. Hey, I'm excited for our passive income. And for the listeners out there, we're going to be launching it. I hope you're excited about it. Please support us. Share it on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Snapchat and whatever the newest and greatest and latest social media site is. Make it go viral. It's really going to help us out. Subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And if you send us a screenshot of it, we're going to send you the $97 passive income launch kit for free. And if you already have the passive income launch kit, we're going to send you something else for free. Scott and I are working on that now. Some type of geeky, 10 favorite geeky tool tips.
Aren't you just going to show up to their house?
I could just show up for their house and just give them a big hug.
Right.
They want that. a big hug with my caffeine breath.
Yeah. You take the West Coast. I'll take the East Coast.
Fair enough.
All right.
What happens to the Midwest? We split it?
You can have it. That's your people.
They are my people.
There you go.
You said that with a little bit of, I don't know if I think I'm going to take offense to your people.
No, it's all good. All good.
Yeah, I don't know, Scott Todd. You got something against Missouri?
Not
We're the
at all,
show
man.
me state.
Yeah,
okay?
no, great state.
I hope you I don't know. I'm just,
There's no water around it. That's the problem.
all this caffeine's making me irritable.
I think that the best places are the states that connect to the water for me. I don't know.
No, you know what? You sold me. I'm sold on it.
Yeah.
I would love to get the boat and be on the ocean.
Yeah.
And have a workcation like your life.
Oh,
I've got no water. My workation is hiking in the mountains.
Yeah, sweating, dying.
They
die up on that mountain, man.
It's 118 this weekend.
Oh, it's brutal.
I'll see you this weekend.
I won't be there.
Come pick me up at the airport.
Yeah. Come on down, man. It's like you can cool off in the 90s.
I'll cool off in the 90s. I'll be like an extra on the set of Cocoon.
Yeah.
In your neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I'm like the youngest guy here, so
it's so funny. All right. Well, I want to thank all the listeners. Get psyched for Art of Passive Income and learn more. Go to landgeek.com and go to landmodo.com, scotttodd.net. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. And we're not going to do it.
You can't say it.
I can't say it. We've got a new tagline. You have to wait to hear it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Best Passive Income Model Podcast. Join us next time for more business insights, strategies, and helpful tips that will help you grow your passive income through land investing. Stay connected with Mark Podolsky, the Land Geek, on Facebook at facebook.com/The Land Geek.